Good evening, folks. You are very welcome to Bandido Talks. Holy smokes. It's a new setup. I know it doesn't look very different to you, perhaps, who's watching at home. You can perhaps see that I have a new microphone. But apart from the new microphone, and some stuff going up here and some stuff going down there, it doesn't look very different. But it is very different to the Bandido. And the Bandido has been trying to get used to his new studio setup. It doesn't look different to you, but it's different to the Bandido. The Bandido has had a very comfortable routine over the last 33 episodes. He's had basically the same setup. The laptop was always in the same location. Things were always in their appropriate place. But here we have tonight, episode 34. Time to get busy. And everything's looking a little different. From the Bandido's perspective, of course. So it's interesting. I'm doing the show tonight, episode 34. And everything around me is in different locations. And I know you can't see it. But it is an interesting little change-up for the old Bandido here. But of course, we haven't been on live since Monday, actually. And Monday this week, that is. We finished off our Christmas special, our part 3 about my beef with Christmas. We were talking about debt and people getting themselves into debt, like idiots, one could say. And so we finished our little Christmas series. I was thinking about doing a New Year's series, but then the truth is, folks, the truth is, and I have to be careful because normally I wave my hands around and this microphone is staring at me and it's glowing up. Look at it. 1 minute it's blue. Now it's turning green. Oh, now it's going yellow. Oh, Jesus, went red. Anyway, we'll not pay any attention to that. If you see the microphone, if you see the microphone going different colors, I don't know what to say to you. The microphone has a mind of its own. We are going to let it do what it is going to do. As long as it records without any audio gremlins, I don't give a shit. So as long as we don't have any audio gremlins, of course, our streams in the last little while have been plagued with audio difficulties. We've had audio gremlins come in here and there. Even on our last stream, episode 33, when we were talking about my beef with Christmas and about debt, we did have an audio gremlin enter the stream. So the Bandido has had to go and get some new gear. Some new gear to make sure that audio gremlins are not going to be disrupting what it is that we are doing here on the show. But tonight's show, folks, as I said, I was thinking about doing a New Year's series, a part 1, 2, and 3. And then I needed to get the new gear in. I had to do some things with the setup, and I needed to run some experiments and some tests to try and figure out what is the best setup from an audio perspective and from a visual perspective as well. So I've been doing that over the last few days, but we are back tonight. And tonight's show is really to just give a little update because we're going to make some changes to the channel. Some changes to the channel. So let's just get straight into it. Let's get straight into it. So what are the changes? As you know, well, before we actually get into the changes, let us lay out what it is that we have been doing here on the channel so that the changes actually make sense whenever I give you the insight as to what it is that we're going to be doing from this point forward. So what we have been doing is we've always been doing our live streaming here on YouTube. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7 p.m. here. Well, I was going to say Irish time, but as I found out this week, I shouldn't really be saying that. I should be saying GMT. 7 p.m. GMT. What is it? Greenwich something time. I'm not exactly sure, but it's supposed to be the correct way. I always say Irish time here on YouTube, but I've been corrected about that. 7 p.m. GMT. You can see it up above me. And you're probably thinking, why is he saying 7 p.m. when up above the Bandido, there's all this different information with different times. We're going to get to that in a second. But what we have been doing here on the channel is we've been live streaming every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Irish time, GMT. But we are going to make some changes to this setup. So we've always done our live streams, and what we tend to do, of course, is we will take out little snippets from our live streams. We could take 10 to 15 minute segments, 10 to 20 minute segments from our big longer streams. We post those. We will then do our YouTube shorts as well. And of course, we have guest interview episodes. We have 3 of those at the moment. I would, of course, encourage you to check out all of the guest interviews that we have done here on the show. Mr. David Feeney, Mr. Stevie J, and Angela Mohan most recently. So check out our guest interview episodes. But this is what we have been doing. We've been doing our live streams Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7 p.m. here, Irish time. And then we will typically upload maybe a best bits compilation, a guest episode. We will split up our content on our live streams and sort of make it more digestible. That's kind of what we've been doing. But we're going to change everything. Not everything. But we're going to change some things. And what is it that we're going to change? Well, as you can probably see up above me, with our little red banner, and there's some information going from left to right. What is it that we're going to do? Well, first things first. We've always done our live streaming here on YouTube. Now, I have mentioned before that I do like another video hosting platform called Rumble. And I had initially thought that I was going to do some live streaming on Rumble. I sort of did a little bit of it. I ran some experiments way early on, months ago, with the channel. And then I stopped doing it because I just wanted to focus on YouTube, get a grip on what live streaming was, because I didn't know how to do any live streaming up until a few months ago. So I thought I'll just focus. I'll focus on YouTube and not get too carried away with myself. But now that I'm more comfortable with the setup and what I need to press when it comes to getting a live stream functional, I'm feeling as if my confidence has grown with the technology. Even though we've had audio gremlins, I feel as if I can deal with the live streaming setup on not just one platform, but on 2. So what we're going to do, folks, is not only are we going to do live streaming here on YouTube, but we are also going to do live streaming over on Rumble. Now, Rumble, what is Rumble, says you? As I've said, it's another video hosting platform. You can do live streaming over on Rumble as well, just like you would do on YouTube. Think of it very similar to YouTube. It's very similar to YouTube, but a little different. You can go look it up, go do a little bit of digging into Rumble, but I like Rumble. I think it's interesting. But anyway, we're going to do some live streaming on Rumble. If you want to find the Bandido on Rumble, you can of course find it through all of this information down below. You will see going across the screen, you will find the directions to the Bandido's Rumble account or Rumble page. So you can follow along on Rumble, because we are going to start doing some live streaming on Rumble as well as YouTube. So we have Rumble live streaming, we have YouTube live streaming. So we're going to do live streaming on both platforms. We are also going to change the time at which we are doing live streams. Bit of a change this indeed. So normally we've been doing 7 p.m. GMT or 7 p.m. Irish time. That's going to change. We're going to run an experiment. Now, the Bandido's always talking, folks, about running experiments. I'm always going on about how you need feedback. Feedback is very important. It doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. If you want to try and get better at something, you need feedback. And the Bandido is no different. And the only way you can get feedback is by running experiments. When you run experiments and you take your theoretical knowledge and practically apply it in the real world through running experiments, you will then get feedback. And you use the feedback as a guiding mechanism, as a guiding light in the dark, in order to optimize your decision making. And so that's what the Bandido is going to do. We're going to run a few experiments now over the next few weeks. And so not only are we going to be live streaming on both Rumble and YouTube, but we are going to change the time of our live streams. And as you can see up above, the live streams, instead of taking place at 7 p.m. Irish time, they are going to take place at yes, that's correct. That's correct before I even say it. You can see it up above. You can perhaps see where I'm going with this. 11 a.m. That is correct. Bit of a drastic change, but we need to run the experiment and see just how it goes. See what feedback the Bandido gets. So we're going to change our live streams from 7 p.m. Irish time to 11 a.m. Irish time, or GMT. And we're going to see how that goes. Now, as you will also see up above on our little scrolling banner, the schedule is going to be as follows. From Monday to Thursday, we will be live streaming every day on Rumble at 11 a.m. Irish time. So every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the Bandido will be live streaming at 11 a.m. over on Rumble. If you want to find the Bandido Talks channel on Rumble, check it out below. This little scrolling black banner will show you how to navigate yourself towards Bandido Talks on Rumble. So Monday to Thursday, we will be live on Rumble, doing what we call Ramble on Rumble. We talked about this months ago. So we're going to do some Ramble on Rumble from Monday to Thursday at 11 a.m. Irish time. That will be a live stream every day on Rumble, Monday to Thursday. Then, every Friday to Sunday, we will be here on YouTube at the same time, 11 a.m. So we will be here on YouTube 11 a.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, doing our normal live stream with our normal, let's just say, segments. Friday, we'll do our Let's Reflect. Saturday, we'll do our News on the Tube. And then Sunday, we will do our Sunday Special, which will involve us taking one news story and diving deep into it. Okay, so let me just summarize that again. Monday to Thursday, so that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The Bandido will be over on Rumble, live streaming at 11 a.m. Irish time. So that will be Monday to Thursday, live on Rumble, 11 a.m. Irish time. Doing Ramble on Rumble. Ramble on Rumble is basically where we go down through news stories or whatever we want to talk about. It's called Ramble on Rumble. So it could be news stories, it could be whatever has happened in the Bandido's existence where he feels that there might be a lesson to be learned, anything. Ramble on Rumble. We talk about whatever we want to talk about. So that'll be Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. Irish time on Rumble. If you want to find me on Rumble, check out the little scrolling black banner below. So that's Monday to Thursday. And then Friday to Sunday, we will be here on YouTube at 11 a.m. Irish time, doing our normal segments. Our Let's Reflect segment, We will be doing our news on the tube on Saturday and then our Sunday news special on Sunday. Now, not only are we going to be doing that, but there are more changes, a lot of changes. This is the reason why I haven't actually been on at all this week, Friday or Saturday, because I've been getting all of these changes together to implement them for this incoming week. Starting, what week will that be, or what day will that be? The 5th, Monday the 5th of January. So not only are we going to be live streaming on 2 different platforms, but as you can perhaps also see up above on the scrolling red banner, there are words that perhaps you do not understand what they are. Directo, lunes a jueves, viernes a domingo. We are going to, let's just say, introduce some Spanish into our live streams. Now, I had actually talked about this before. I had talked about the idea that I was maybe going to do one isolated Spanish episode a week. I was thinking about doing that. Maybe doing that on a Thursday here on YouTube. But then I thought, fuck that. We can't be just doing one episode in Spanish. Because the Bandido does like to speak a bit of Espanol. And so instead of doing just one show in Spanish, what we are going to do is, every live stream that we do on Rumble and on YouTube, we are going to do the first half of the live stream in English, and then we are going to do the second half in Spanish. So, you will have live streams in both English and Spanish. And so as a result, what does this mean? It means the Bandido is going to be live streaming every day of the week. He will live stream 4 days on Rumble, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. He will live stream 3 days on YouTube, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Each of those live streams will take place at 11 a.m. Irish time. And within each live stream, the first half will be in English and the second half will be in Spanish. So whatever we are going to be talking about on each live stream, we will do the first bit of it in English. And then when we finish that, we will do the same show, maybe with a little twist in Spanish. And so for those of you who maybe want to, I don't know, listen to a non-native speaker speaking Spanish, sometimes the native speakers can speak very quickly. We've all been there when we've tried to learn a language. But the Bandido is a non-native speaker. He speaks well, but he speaks slower. He pronounces his words perhaps more clearly. I don't use a whole pile of colloquial terminology when I speak Spanish. So perhaps people might find it interesting to listen to the Bandido in Spanish, as well as English. So every live stream will be done in both English and Spanish. The first half in English, the second half in Spanish. And so those are the changes, quite a few changes. We've changed the structure of the show. We've changed the audio equipment and we've changed, I know you can't see it. I understand you can't see it, but the studio is actually quite different. I try to keep the background the same, but everything around me is quite different. And so all of these changes, let me just summarize all of those changes one last time. So, we are going to be live streaming on 2 different platforms, Rumble and YouTube. Monday to Thursday, the Bandido will be live streaming on Rumble. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The Bandido will be live streaming on Rumble at 11 a.m. Irish time for his Ramble on Rumble series. Then, on YouTube, from Friday to Sunday, the Bandido will also be live streaming at 11 a.m. doing the normal YouTube segments. The Let's Reflect segment on a Friday, News on the Tube on Saturday, and then the Sunday special on Sunday. Each live stream will be split into 2 parts. are into two halves. The first half will be done in English. The second half will be done in Spanish. And that means the Bandido will be live streaming every day of the week, from Monday to Sunday. Live streaming on Rumble first, and then live streaming on YouTube to finish out the week. Rumble from Monday to Thursday, YouTube from Friday to Sunday. So that is the lie of the land. Lots of changes, both with the equipment and with the structure of the show. And this is the thing, folks. Why am I doing this? Well, I've already alluded to this in our little introduction. If you want to get better at something, you need to take your theoretical knowledge about how you think the world works, or about how you think the thing that you're trying to improve at actually works. You need to take that theoretical knowledge. You need to practically apply it by running experiments, and through running experiments, you will get feedback. And the feedback is the way in which your decision making is going to be guided. And so when we want to get better at something, that's what we need to do. And you see, the Bandido wants to get better at his show. Of course he does. If the Bandido can improve his performance on the show, if the Bandido can improve his audio setup so that he eliminates the gremlins from the stream, if the Bandido can, provide more value in some way, by maybe live streaming on different platforms at different times in different languages, how am I going to know if what it is that I am doing is optimal? Well, the only way I'm going to know is if I receive feedback about what it is that I'm doing. And the way to get feedback is to run experiments. And then you can run certain experiments and see what feedback you get from the experiment. Maybe you might get lousy negative feedback, and that tells you something interesting. It tells you, maybe I need to reconsider what it is that I was thinking of doing. Maybe you'd get quite positive feedback. If you get positive feedback, then you perhaps then can start to lean into what it is that you're doing more. It's like anything, folks. You need feedback. And the Bandido's always on the show here, talking and trying to have people understand the importance of running experiments. Experiments are important because the experiments are going to allow you to generate or to gather, we could say, feedback about what it is that you're doing. And that's what this is. This is an experiment. And we see how it goes. And that's why I said in the little description of tonight's show, sitting around and procrastinating. If those of you who are at home, sitting around procrastinating, living in the land of theory, not practically applying your theory through running experiments and getting feedback. If you are not getting feedback through running experiments, how do you expect to get better at anything? How do you expect to move quickly up the learning curve? Because that's what we need to do, folks. When we want to get better at something, we need to move up a learning curve. The first time I live streamed, maybe 3 months ago? First time in my life I had live streamed. If you go back, all the live streams are on the channel. You can go back, go and look at the first live stream. You can see I've got the headphones on. I don't really know what's happening with the laptop. I don't know if the audio's working. I'm kind of speaking quite low. For the first few episodes, I remember I was keeping my volume really low. And that's not the way I talk. I talk louder. I talk more dynamically. But early on, you can kind of see I'm trying to work out what it is that I'm doing. And so, what could I have done? Well, I could have sat on YouTube, or I could have went to the library and bought a book about how to live stream and read the book and spent these last 3 months reading books about live streaming, watching videos about live streaming, reading articles about live streaming, and not actually practically applying the knowledge. That is useless. Not useless. Useless is perhaps a bit harsh. Because I don't want to say that, or I don't want to give the impression that learning or educating yourself through theory is useless. But in isolation, one could say that you're inching closer towards it being useless. Because if you always live in theory land, and you're not constantly running experiments through applying your theory, then you're never getting feedback. And that's the thing about books, folks. That's the thing about reading books and about watching videos online or reading articles online. Good. Everybody needs information. Everybody needs to educate themselves on the thing that it is that they're trying to get better at. That makes sense. But what does a book not give you? What does a YouTube video not give you? What does a online article not give you? What they all don't give you is feedback. And so if you are only ever reading things or watching things or staying in the land of theory, and you're never practically applying what it is that you do, you are going to move very slowly up the learning curve. And I think it would be fair to say, any of us who want to get better at something, we don't want to deliberately handicap ourselves and move slowly up a learning curve. It's not about cutting corners. It's not about cheating. But if we can speed up our progress up the learning curve, why would we not do that? Why would we deliberately ignore a way to speed up our rate of improvement? And how is it that we speed up the rate of our improvement? Running experiments, getting feedback. And so this is the Bandido. You can see the Bandido isn't full of shit. Insofar as he's on here talking on his live streams, saying that people ought to do this, that, and the other, and the Bandido doesn't do it himself. We see the Bandido does do it. The Bandido is keenly aware that in order to get better at something, he needs to, yes, consume theory. Theory is important, but it's only most useful when it is paired with practice and action taking and running experiments and getting feedback. Don't live in the land of theory. And that would be the little micro lesson here from what it is that I'm telling you this evening about all of these changes to the show. And there are lots of changes. I've made a whole bunch of changes at once. But good. That's a good thing. Now that I've kind of got my feet wet with the live streaming game, now it's time to maybe start running experiments, a few more experiments. Let's tinker with the time of the show. We've been doing the show at 7 p.m. Okay, well, let's try and do it in the morning and see what happens. See how I feel about that. See how maybe the audience reacts. See what sort of feedback I get from perhaps some analytics on Rumble or on YouTube. How about then we stream on different platforms? So instead of just streaming all the time on YouTube, let's stream on Rumble and see what the Rumble audience is able to tell the Bandido about his content and about how maybe he's trying to deliver his message. So let's try different platforms. Let's live stream at different times on different platforms. How about we don't just limit ourselves to the English language? Why not try and do a part of the live stream in Spanish and see if there are any Spanish people who might be listening to the Bandido? Perhaps see if there are any English speakers who maybe want to try and improve their Spanish. That's what I did. Incidentally, this is the reason why I'm actually live streaming. This is why I'm going to live stream from tomorrow onwards. Every live stream is going to be half English, half Spanish. And the reason why I'm doing this is because many years ago, whenever I first decided that I wanted to learn a language, and I did choose Spanish as the language that I wanted to learn. When I started out learning Spanish, when I tried to listen to native speakers speaking Spanish, they were speaking too quickly. And I was not able to really get a grasp on what it was that they were saying. And so what did I do? And this was actually a sort of useful little hack. It's a good little learning technique for those of you who want to perhaps learn any language. Everybody thinks that you need to listen to native speakers. You do not need to listen to native speakers. And so what I did whenever I was starting out learning Spanish, I used to listen to a very famous ex-soccer player, and he was the current Real Madrid manager at the time, Zinedine Zidane. Now, Zinedine Zidane is from France. He's a native French speaker, but because he was managing Real Madrid, he learned how to speak Spanish. Now, did he speak perfect Spanish? No. Did he speak really good Spanish? Yes. Did he speak slowly? Yes. Did he pronounce all of his words clearly? Yes. Was he talking about terminology that I was somewhat familiar with in English? Yes. And so what did the Bandido do? The Bandido used to listen to all of Zinedine Zidane's press conferences with Real Madrid, all of his interviews, and that's how I got started. Listening to a non-native Spanish speaker. In this case, Zinedine Zidane is a French speaker, a native French speaker. And so this is the reason why the Bandido is now he's going to do half of his live stream in Spanish. Because when I was learning a language, I found it very useful listening to non-native speakers. And believe me, folks, if you are thinking of something in the world and you think that that is a novel insight that you've had, it probably isn't. There are billions of people on the planet. And because there are billions of people on the planet, most people who think they have a novel idea, someone else has had it elsewhere on the planet. Most of the time. And so if I'm thinking that listening to non-native speakers is a good way for someone who's starting out in their language learning journey to try and get listening to people who are speaking slowly and clearly. If I'm thinking that that's a good idea, then you can be damn sure that there are other people on the planet thinking exactly the same thing. There will be other people on the planet who want to learn Spanish, but they feel intimidated by listening to native speakers. And they want to listen to someone who maybe is just speaking slower and they don't care if it's a non-native speaker. And so that's the logic behind why I am now going to do half of the live stream in Spanish. Because who knows, there could be English speakers out there who want to learn Spanish. They feel intimidated by listening to native Spanish speakers, but perhaps how the Bandido speaks, it ain't so quick. And it isn't so sloppily pronounced. And I'm not taking a dig here at native speakers, but we all know, folks. Think of you as an English speaker. Think of how you actually speak. Self-reflect. Think how much colloquial terminology and slang you use. And think about perhaps how a lot of the time you don't fully pronounce your words. And think about how quickly you speak with all of your colloquial phrases and sayings. Can be difficult. It can be difficult for someone who's starting out trying to learn a language to try and get their head around the way in which a native speaker speaks. And so what's the Bandido doing? Well, the Bandido has a skill. In this case, the skill is speaking Spanish. And so why not put that skill to use? Run an experiment. Do half the live stream in Spanish. Do the first half in English, finish the live stream in English, and then do the same content in Spanish. And of course, by changing the language, it's going to be delivered in a slightly different way. There's going to be nuances to the Spanish side of the stream compared to the English side of the stream. And perhaps someone might get value out of that. And perhaps I will receive feedback about that change that I am making to my live streams. Maybe it might be negative feedback, maybe it's positive feedback, I don't know. I don't know until I run the experiment. It's the same with the times. I'm going from 7 p.m. Irish time to 11 a.m. Irish time. A completely different time. A completely different audience will perhaps be tuning in to Bandido Talks. Maybe it's a really bad time to stream. Maybe it's a really good time. Maybe it's good for someone with a small channel to stream off peak hours. Maybe it's not. The only way you're going to know, folks, is by running experiments and getting feedback. Same with the different platforms that we're now going to stream on. streaming on Rumble from Monday to Thursday, streaming on YouTube from Friday to Sunday. Let's split it up. Let's do streaming on Rumble through our Ramble on Rumble series. Let's do streaming on YouTube with our Let's Reflect or News on the Tube. You might say, why bother your whole doing it? Why? Well, I'll tell you why. I want to get better at it. I want to improve. And if I'm going to improve and move up the learning curve quicker, I'm going to need feedback. Feedback will be my guiding light. That will help guide my decision making. I do not want to permanently sit in the land of theory. Sitting in the land of theory, reading book after book after book, watching YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video, online article after online article after online article. Fine, theory is necessary. It's one part of the equation. But if you constantly sit in theory land, you aren't getting feedback. All of those things, books, YouTube videos, online literature, they don't give you feedback. They just give you an insight as to how the world is supposed to work in theory. How the thing it is that you want to get better at is supposed to work in theory. But until you actually start to apply the theory, you will not fully understand and know how to apply this theory to your own unique set of circumstances. And so the Bandido is quite simply living by his own pieces of advice through his own worldview. He's doing what he says on his streams by running experiments. And that's what I hope you take away from this. We've talked about this before, I know, and it might be a little bit repetitive for those of you who have already watched some of our streams before. But it's really, really important that you combine theory with practical implementation of the theory through running experiments so that you get feedback. It's extremely important. And that's the reason why all of these changes are being made to the channel. It's why I'm now going to live stream on Rumble from Monday to Thursday and on YouTube from Friday to Sunday. It's the reason why each and every one of these live streams from Monday to Sunday is going to now take place at 11 a.m. in the morning and not 7 p.m. in the evening. It is the reason why I'm going to live stream in 2 different languages, the first half in English, the second half in Spanish. The reason why I'm doing all of this is because I want feedback. I want feedback to be guiding my decision making. I want to make sure that I've got all the information, all the data, so that it can be plugged into the scone. And then once I have all the information at my disposal, I can then run a more accurate analysis as to what it is that I want to do. If you are missing feedback, you are missing a critical part of what it is that you need to run an accurate analysis. Because as we always say, folks, we even have a saying for it here in English. Oh yeah, that'll work in theory. And how often in the real world, folks, does theory go down the toilet bowl and you have to adapt and adjust to a new set of circumstances that aren't in your books or your YouTube videos that you've encountered so far? Books, YouTube videos, online resources are important, but you need to get out there and practically implement your theory because your set of circumstances are unique to you. What it is that you are striving for is unique to you. And so you need to factor that into your analysis. You need the feedback combined with the theory. All right, so that's what we're up to, folks. That's what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks. We let the feedback come in, and the Bandido's decision-making and analysis is going to be greatly informed by the feedback. Let me know what you think over the next few weeks as you're watching the shows. Again, you can see down below here on the scrolling black banner, you can find all of the details as to where you can find the Bandido. On X, we have a little X account, And of course, if you want to find the Bandido over on Rumble, www.rumble.com/Bandido Talks. That's how you can find the Bandido over on Rumble. And so if you want to listen to some ramble on Rumble from Monday to Thursday, head over to Rumble. Subscribe to the channel. That content is going to be exclusive to Rumble. I will not be posting it here on YouTube. I will just repeat that once again. I will not be posting the content, the live streams on Rumble here on YouTube. So you're going to have to go over to Rumble to watch that if you're interested. That's exclusive to Rumble. Just in the same way that the YouTube live streams will also now be exclusive to YouTube. I may post snippets of the YouTube live streams over on Rumble, but the full stream will remain here on YouTube. And so, again, take a look at the little scrolling red banner up above for times, 11 a.m. Every single live stream that we are going to do from this point forward until the Bandido perhaps implements another change, every live stream will take place at 11 a.m. GMT or Irish time. And so, with that, folks, that kind of draws to a close. It's not a big long episode, just more to inform you about what it is that we're going to be doing. Again, all of the details are here on the screen, up above and down below. Follow the Bandido Talks channel over on Rumble. Follow Bandido Talks on X. Join us over on Rumble tomorrow. We are going to be starting this tomorrow. That's why I'm having the stream tonight, to give you all the heads up. It'll be starting tomorrow. So we are going to be streaming every single day from Monday to Sunday. Unless there is some significant event in the Bandido's life where he can't live stream, he will be live streaming every single day, Monday to Sunday at 11 a.m. Irish time. Monday to Thursday on Rumble, Friday to Sunday on YouTube. Every single live stream will be split into two parts. The first half will be in English and the second half will be in Spanish, in Espanol. That's the way we're going to rock over the next few weeks. Feel free to join us over on Rumble. Stick with us here on YouTube. Check out X as well, if that's your thing. And so with that, folks, I'll just go over and check the live chat. Let's have a little check at the live chat just to make sure I'm looking down here, you see, because my laptop is down here. Normally my laptop was up here to the right. Now it's down here. I probably will have to make an adjustment for that because now I'm going to be bending down like this to have a look at what it is that's being said in the live chat. Maybe I'll keep it like that because I don't want it coming up into the camera. Again, we'll have to run experiments, folks. Experiments will have to be run in order to get the feedback necessary to know what is the right thing to do. But anyway, let's have a look at the live chat. Let's see if you guys are saying anything about tonight's show. Any feedback on some of these changes that we're making? Maybe you're going to drop a little comment about the overall lesson as to why the Bandido's actually doing this. You can actually learn something interesting from tonight's show, folks. You can absolutely learn something interesting. You're just seeing the Bandido in real time implement his own advice. He's not full of shit. He does take his own advice. He doesn't just spew garbage out into the online space. But anyway, let's see what you're saying. Maybe there'll be nobody in the live chat. Maybe there'll be no one. Maybe there'll be someone. Let's have a look and see. We haven't had a bagel in a few weeks. A bagel, of course, being nobody in the live chat. Let's have a look and see. Head over to the YouTube studio. All right, let's have a look. Let me set this up. Make sure everything is in the live chat. Now, it looks like we've got one live chat. We have a one live chat. Lord Jesus, we've been spurred the bagel. Who's in our live chat? By Jesus, Schlop is back in the live chat. It's Schlop. Now, I haven't read the live chat yet. I can just see Schlop is in the live chat. Schlop is, of course, a frequent live chatter that we have here on the show. And the reason why I feel a little bit apprehensive about Schlop being in the live chat is because on Monday past, when we were doing our part 3 of my beef with Christmas, Schlop was the one to inform, or no, maybe that was Griper Dave. Jesus, I'm mixing up our live chatters. Griper Dave was with us on Monday night. Griper Dave was telling us that there were gremlins in the live stream. So I don't see Griper Dave. So maybe that's a good thing that I don't see Griper Dave. Let's see what Schlop has to say. He says the following. It feels weird without the microphone. Normally I have the microphone stand and my little SM58. And now I don't have it, and my hands can do all of this now. I still don't want to smack this microphone. Sometimes I do this. I move with my right hand, and I can be a little aggressive sometimes in my movements. But anyway, getting off track. Let's see what Schlop's saying. He says the following. Sounds like the gremlins have been socked. Well, Lord God, that is music to my ears. Music to my ears. The gremlins, according to Schlop, have been socked. They've been beaten to a pulp. That's what we need to hear. We have implemented the changes. The new microphone has came in. We've got a different setup off camera because I've been fucking pissed off with audio gremlins. The audio gremlins have really pissed me off over the last few weeks. And so the Bandido knew he needed to take action. And it seems that Schlop is telling us that the gremlins have been socked. They've been kicked into touch. And I'm hoping that's the end of our audio gremlins. I'll listen back to the show. I'll make sure that everything is sounding as it should be sounding. But I'm confident in Schlop's analysis and his feedback. Schlop tells us that it sounds like the gremlins have been socked. So we'll just have to keep going. We're going to have plenty of incoming live shows. So if there are any gremlins still hanging around, audio gremlins, then we're going to find out over the next few weeks, aren't we, folks? Because we're going to be live streaming every single day. 7 days a week. If you want lots of the Bandido, you're going to get lots of the Bandido. But that's good to hear. I'm glad that Schlop is in the live chat to let the Bandido know. Schlop, of course, he's been a very faithful live chatter. He's always been in there every week, at least one show. He's in there dropping a comment. We do appreciate it, Schlop. But anyway, that seems to be everything from our live chat. Let me check and see. I'll do one more check. Don't want to miss any live chats. That seems to be everything. And so, that will indeed draw our show to a close tonight, folks. Very good show indeed. Lots of changes coming in. I hope you were able to keep up with it. Plenty of live shows, live content coming your direction. Of course, all the other things that we talk about still hold. We will still be having guest interview episodes coming your direction. The Bandido is close to getting some of his original musical compositions fully recorded. Those will be coming soon as well. And we're just going to be really getting to it, folks. Tonight's show is called Time to Get Busy. And what do I mean by that? Well, it means it's time to get busy getting out of the land of theory and into the real world, where we're going to start practically applying our theoretical knowledge about how we think things work in order to get feedback, in order to guide our decision making. And it is literally time to get busy for the Bandido because there are going to be lots of live shows coming your direction. Lots of live content every day this week. There are going to be live shows Monday to Thursday on Rumble at 11 a.m, Friday to Sunday on YouTube at 11 a.m, Irish time. And the show will be it'll be broken up into English and then Spanish. Lots of stuff coming your direction, folks. But anyway, if you enjoyed tonight's show, folks, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Your charity is welcome. Again, if you are watching the live stream after the live event has concluded, then get down into the comments. Let me know what you think about all of these incoming changes and everything that we talked about tonight on the show. And then finally, if you enjoy what we are doing here at Bandido Talks, then feel free to subscribe to us here on YouTube, but also feel free to head over to Rumble, subscribe to the Rumble Bandido Talks channel, because there are going to be a whole bunch of live streams taking place over in Rumble. And of course, that content will be exclusive to Rumble. So I will not be posting any of the live streams, the full live streams that we're doing over on Rumble. Here on YouTube, you'll have to go over to Rumble and check those out. But feel free to subscribe here on YouTube or over on Rumble. Check us out on X as well, Bandido Talks over there. You'll find all the information below. And with that, folks, audio gremlins appear to have been defeated. We are rocking and rolling. We have our new setup here. We've got our new schedule going forward. I hope you can tune in tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Irish time or GMT. Whatever one you want to use. I think I'm going to stick with Irish time. Fuck the GMT. Anyway, feel free to join us tomorrow morning, folks, over on Rumble. Bandido Talks over on Rumble. We will be live streaming at 11 a.m. Rumble on Rumble. If I don't see you then perhaps I will see you on any one of our incoming live shows this week. Feel free to check in with us all, folks. That is everything from the Bandido this evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. And all I have left to say is it is over and out this evening from the Bandido.